Meantime, data centers, as you heard at the beginning of the show, this is the hottest sector in real estate right now. They also literally run hot, consuming more energy than a lot of local grids can handle. So, seriously, what if you put them in outer space? I think we've heard Elon Musk talk about this, but Diana Olick is here to truly explain.
Yeah, and I know, Kelly, it sounds nuts, right? It does, look. But this is one of the next great plays in real estate, lunar construction and development of data centers. I sat down with the global chief investment officer of Hines, a real estate firm that is already investing in Space Coast warehousing to support all this.
We're creating these new rails, if you will, of the future. In this case, it's more into orbit instead of on the ground. But when you think about it that way and think about all the nodes that are going to get developed and created, it's exciting. And I think investors need to be thinking that way.
One of the companies already working on lunar construction is California-based Ethos. The CEO told me his technology is ready. He's just waiting for the rockets.
Ethos takes the geological resources on the moon and it turns them into buildable products. So the moon is really just fractured rock, but it's an 8th continent, right? It's a whole new world waiting to be developed. And we develop it. We turn it into landing pads, roads, foundations for data centers, and other great things.
And we're not talking about decades from now. Both Steinbach and Centers say this will happen in the next 5 years. Now, if you want to learn more about this, you are in luck. Today, we are launching Property Play, a brand new platform specifically curated for real estate investors, from the entrepreneur to the institutional. Has a weekly newsletter, a video cast where you can hear more from these execs about the lunar data centers. Sign up on the QR code. Kelly,
love it. That's awesome. Congratulations. So I like some of the terms being used here, Space Coast and 8th continent. But I would imagine there are latency issues. Are they, I remember when the co-location was all the rage and you had to get, kind of compute right next to where people are executing trades. I imagine with data centers, there's a little bit of the same phenomenon. You put it on the moon, you put it in space, what happens?
Well, that was my question. What do you do with all this stuff? And he said, look, you just beam it all back. It's the same way. It's not that it has to be next to anything that needs to be, we do talk a lot about co-location.
Yeah.
He said you beam it all back from space, and the great thing about doing it is you do not have to cool it because space is cold.
True.
And you can run it on solar all the time because there's no clouds, no storms.
It makes such sense, but it still seems so silly to talk about in a realistic way. But you're saying this is
he's putting money into it,
off.
And they're putting money into not just the warehousing, but the office potential, the residential that would support all this on Earth, because you're putting robotics up on the moon to do it. So it's not people up building on the moon, but the robotics that would all need to be lifted up, taken off. And that's where they're going. That's
crazy.
The investment. That's the play.
Diana, and it's called Property Play?
Property Play.
All right. Check it out, everybody. Diana, we appreciate it.